But getting to the companion plants, like we said earlier, we want to use those to boost taste, but not only that, we want those to boost just nutrients in the soil because, as you can see, if we add like alfalfa, that'll help fix nitrogen in the soil naturally,
Yeah.
and those terpenes will also boost the aroma and
Clover.
whatnot.
And if you can't find alfalfa seeds to plant as companions, you could find alfalfa meal. We went with that result, and we're going to go with that early this year.
Yeah.
Top feeding, you do those once a month instead of planting them, let them grow and training them. So there's other results and other ways you could go about this. We had intended on going alfalfa as a companion plant, but it honestly might be easier for us intense to go with the top feed.
Yeah.
With that, and then just do the aroma fixers planted in the room.
Yeah.
So the nitrogen fixers, those ones are just really going to help your soil a lot. Agreed.
I agree. Because then when it comes to chamomile, we have seeds for that, which we're going to plant in each. Those will be in with the our bud.
Yeah.
It'll be with our mother plant and the plants outside. We'll also do that, but just talking about the mothers for now. The chamomile will be placed in there, and that's going to help boost the essential oil production as well as give it antifungal properties in the soil.
Yeah. Chamomile, if you place some in between your plants, those ones will help fight bacteria, and they will help prevent if anybody has powdery mildew, and that you could place some of those in between so it doesn't spread. So if there's one plant where it's like, this one is kind of losing its traits, it's kind of a weak plant.
Yeah.
You won't suffer everywhere in your garden if you have them spread out throughout. You know what I mean? You might run into it, but you could control that one and just keep it there instead of having everywhere. You know what I mean? So.
Which is something that we've really been bad with in that first year of growing, which was like we didn't control our powdery mildew enough because we weren't hands-on every day with the plants. But in the little community tent with the bonsais that we're doing, I've controlled and killed powdery mildew very efficiently.
Yeah.
And it's going pretty well. We don't have any companions in there. So we'll see how it affects bonsais too, I guess.
Yeah, because we could try it with the bonsais maybe in the little...
and the next time we plant
maybe in the wood cabinet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That has a tiny little bit more space in between.
For sure. Because then we also have comfrey, which does the same thing. We haven't gotten the seeds yet, but we're going to order them.
Yeah.
And those are going in the bed there. They're going to be able to control powdery mildew from the soil, which is going to be unreal. And when it comes to lavender, it doesn't just help boost aroma. It also does pest deterrent. Especially on, the moths, flies, and fleas. And mosquitoes, which is nice.
Yeah, and also for like insects, you have coriander, the mint, rosemary. Rosemary is another good one. But there's even some like marigold and daisies. So those ones, a bunch of the other ones, those ones are like super strong and bugs just kind of deter.
Yeah.
But marigold and daisies, those ones will attract some of those plants and keep your like the cannabis plants almost as like a decoy type. Like they won't really get attracted to the cannabis plants because those ones are just like super attracted to those annoying ass bugs that kill plants. Because outdoors, everybody faces problems. We're lucky we're in our situation. We don't have rodents. You know what I mean? We don't have like big animals coming and eating our stuff. So it's really just the little guys.
Yeah, and the microorganisms are enough of a problem. So if we see any in the tent this time, what we'll do is I think we'll do similar to the lavender, but we'll get a couple of them where it's like they will go here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mainly one of the main things that we're trying to use the companion plants for, because outside we had some plants where there was a little bit of holes in them from the bugs and some mildew. So it's like
the Japanese beetles.
Yeah.
They eat the flower. Not the flower. They eat the fan leaves. Sorry.
Yeah. So with the mint, the beetles would go heavily towards the mint instead of our plants because they give off a stronger aroma. These will be less attracted to them.
Agreed. And we were breaking down the terp profile just as an example earlier, but just in case you're wondering for the other two, green crack features a dominant in valencine and then a secondary in myrcene, tertiary carpholine, and then its fourth is linalool, which literally green crack shares with everybody, which is nice.
Yeah, that one was like a deciding like, this one could go with either companion plant. It's not really gonna affect everything. Matches both plants that we're gonna grow with.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing that really determined whether it would be paired with jungle breath or Durban poison was the fact that Durban's going to need a specialized environment compared to green crack and jungle breath, which are more temperate to Mediterranean-esque.
And it also flowers and harvests the longest. So in
True.
order to keep that, space going an extra 2 weeks, because that was like a 90-day flower rather than the 70 on those two.
Yep.
So as soon as we saw that, I was like, well, that one can't go with either of those. It's going to have to be in that space for another 2 weeks, so immediately by itself. So those ones, the I don't even know how to say that shit. The
Terpenoline?
Terpenoline.
I think that's screwed up. Yeah, terpenoline.
Valicine, Maricine, and then
Osamine?
Osamine.
I think that one's the easiest, actually. Low key.
It might be.
For Durban?
Nah, linalool and limonene.
Oh, linalool, yeah.
Yeah, those ones are the easiest.
Okay, we're
Yeah, but understanding what like terps do, some terps give you relaxing effects, some give you energizing, some help your mood and give you a lot of mood boosting. Like a lot of sativas are mood boosting. That's why people like to smoke them during work times.
Yeah.
Creative, inspiring. You know what I mean? Anti-inflammatory. There's like a lot of the like medical effects come from the terpene profiles themselves. So you could find a terpene profile in something, and it's like, yo, I don't like to smoke that, but if I could find something in this that has this terpene profile, that's where the medical effects come from. So that's why we're trying to really find these, because each effect they also attach flavors. You know what I mean? So everything has its reason.